What is up, guys? Too Easy here. I got a new video for you guys today. I'm going to be showing you a new auto sorter design. This design is way faster than any other design I've ever seen on YouTube. So the way that this works is it's basically exactly the same as the previous version that I have. There's obviously a couple changes. So first things first, we got a drop boxes here, and the way that this works is for your drop boxes, you're gonna either want to daisy chain them all together. So if you got a big clan base, obviously it's not gonna work. So what you do is the ones inside your compound, daisy chain all those together. If you got some up on the roof, you daisy chain them together as well. And then you're gonna need a combiner here, which is what this is here, and then you just combine them all. So this 4 would be like for the compound. You can have like another 4 for your roof, etc., etc. But like I said, make sure you combine them all together. I don't have it hooked up yet, and I'll show you one in a minute. But once you have all those hooked up, you need to take the output into a splitter here, and this is called a super sucker. So this moves the items from your drop boxes down here into the buffer boxes 9 times faster. And the reason it's 9 times faster is because I have 9 conveyors. If you want, you can make it 2 conveyors, 3 conveyors. You can have a 7, you can have it 18, you can have 36. It's all gonna matter on how many that you want for your team. For me personally, I think 9 works just fine, but like I said, totally up to you guys. So you go from this splitter and you split them into here. The output of these, you go into each one of these, and then you take the output of these conveyors and then you recombine them all together into one. So then it will go out of the super sucker, and it's gonna go down into another combiner, and then it goes into your buffer boxes. And the reason we need this combiner is, and you can see here, I have a furnace system here. This is for the electric furnaces. I do have one over here for the large furnaces and the oil refinery. I'll show you how you hook up both of them, but the output of those are gonna come into here. And then if you have like an auto crafter as well, then you have another one for that. So again, it goes out of the drop boxes into the splitter. Or, sorry, not the splitter. It goes into the combiner first, and then it goes into the splitter tree, into the super sucker here, and then we recombine it into another combiner here, and then it goes into our buffer boxes here. And then it's gonna come out of that buffer box into this splitter tree here. Alright? And then from this splitter tree, it's gonna go into this splitter here, and then we have 3 conveyors per set of items. Alright? So as you can see, oops, not turn it off, but as you can see, I got 3 conveyors set for the ammo, and then these are all the weapons. I was too lazy to put like detro guns in it, but as you can see, rather than the old version over here, which is just 1 conveyor per set of whatever you have, this one is 3 conveyors, so it's gonna pull the items out of this buffer box 3 times faster. And yes, technically, if you want to, you can make this even faster, but honestly, there's not really a need to. So we got 3 sets per whatever you want, and then it's gonna combine back into this here, and then it goes into the box. So I'll show you how this works here. Let me just flip this up real quick. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna show you guys what's all in here. As you can see, we got some guns, some miscellaneous stuff that will just go into the miscellaneous box over here. As you see, we got some food items, we got some tools, and then we got resources, rockets, gunpowder. As you can see, we got components, electrical stuff, some ammo, and then we got some clothing and med stuff in here, right? So when I hook this up, it's gonna basically be almost instantly that it gets taken out of here, and then it's gonna go into these boxes here. Alright, ready? So as you can see, it's pulling the items pretty darn fast here. As you can see, most of this is already done. And if you come over here, as you can see, it's taking the items out almost instantly out of here as well. And the reason that it's taking it out of here so fast is because, like I said earlier, rather than this 1 set of these pulling items, we have 3 set pulling all the items out. So that's the reason why it's pulling so fast. So as you can see, well, it's basically done, but so that's how it works. Now it's taking all the rockets, And the only reason that the rockets take so long in here too is because I had it stacked in 100. But as you can see, it's taking all the items out super fast here. Give that a second so you guys can see it. Pulls it pretty darn fast. And let's see if we can get some of these working. Yep, as you can see, it's using all three of these to put the items inside the boxes here. So as you can see, you got the ammo here, you got some weapons in here, clothing obviously, resources for the meds. The meds box is gonna be full because I was testing it out before. You got electrical stuff, tools are all in there, food's in here, scrap. Here's our ore. As you can see, all the ores in here, components. We got some charcoal, wood in there. Got some stone. Got some high quality and some metal frags. All our gunpowder and sulfur. And as you can see, all of our rockets and stuff is all in here. These are probably almost full, yeah. And then all of our miscellaneous stuff. Alright. So, I'm going to show you guys on how to hook this up. And we also have a TC upkeep in here as well. But without further ado, let's get into how to build it. Alright, let me show you guys on how to pipe this all up. Just for the sake of the video, I'm not going to unhook everything. Otherwise, it'll just take like forever for me to hook this all up. But, just pretty self-explanatory here. So, I'll go ahead and show you guys on how to do it here. So, what you got to do is go from the drop boxes here. Make sure we combine them all here. Obviously, if you guys have a big compound or a big base, obviously you're not going to be able to connect them all like this. So if you got them on the roof or a bunch inside the compound, if they do not reach, all you have to do is take a combiner and put it between one box and the next box, and obviously just put it in here, and then you hit the output and you run into the next box there. But once you have them all combined up from the compound and obviously from the roof, we need to combine them both together. So that's what this represents here. So again, combine them all together. From here, put it into the splitter here. And the reason that we have the splitter here is it goes into another set here. From these splitters, it's going to go into these here. Right? This is the super sucker. This moves the items from the drop box to the buffer boxes. Again, you can have 3 of these, 6 of these, 9 of these, 12. It doesn't really matter. I just do 9, in my opinion. That works just fine. Obviously, if you want more, you're going to need more splitters. If you want less, obviously, you're going to need less. So, take the output of the splitter, put it into the input of the conveyor, output of the conveyor into the combiner here. So the top row gets combined in here, middle row into this one, bottom row into this one. Combine all 3 of them into one. From here, so once they're all combined, we need to take the output of this, and this is going to run over and into this combiner here, right? The reason that this combiner is here is because obviously, as you can see, we got the input for all of the drop boxes here. And then we have another one for our electric furnaces, or if you do the super smelter, which is right there, that's what this other one represents. And also if you have a automatic crafter, that's what the next input is for there as well. So that's why we need that. So then from there, let me just go with that. So from here, once they're all combined, it needs to go into the actual buffer boxes here. And yes, you do need the buffer boxes. It will not work without it. So that's why these are here. You can have 2 of these, 4 of these, 6 of these, 8 of these. Does not matter. Just make sure you have some. Alright. So once you have these all combined, we're going to come out and follow this blue line into the splitter tree here. Alright. This splitter tree is going to depend on how many conveyors you actually have. Or what I should say is how many separate items you want to be sorted. Right. So if you want a conveyor system just for face mask, one just for chest plates, so on and so forth, for like every armor piece, you're gonna need another one of the outputs here, right? But the way that I have it so just all the face masks and chest plates and kilts and all that stuff in the one, and the only thing that gets separated out is the diving stuff and the hazmats, right? So that's the way that works. So again, this splitter tree, the amount of splitters here you're gonna need is gonna require on how many of the separate items you want to be sorted out. Alright, so obviously you're gonna go from the output of these, and then you're gonna go into this here, right? So for example, I believe I can do like this. Yep, okay. So as you can see, take the output of here, and I ran it all the way up and into this one here, right? So this is for the ammo. And this is for the chest plates. So on and so forth. For like every armor piece, you're gonna need another one of the outputs here, right? But the way that I have it, I have it so just all the face masks and chest plates and kilts and all that stuff in the one, and the only thing that gets separated out is the diving stuff and the hazmats, right? So that's the way that works. So again, this splitter tree, the amount of splitters here you're gonna need is gonna require on how many of the separate items you want to be sorted out. Alright, so obviously you're gonna go from the output of these, and then you're gonna go into this here, right? So So from this splitter here, it's gonna go into each one of these conveyors here in this line right here, right? And all three of these need to be set to the exact same thing. If they're not set to the exact same thing, it's not gonna work. Easiest way to do it: set one, click copy, go to the next one, click paste, and then that's how you do that. Once you have all of these set, make sure you take the output of all three of these, combine it into one here, as you can see, and then from the output of that, it's gonna go into the box. And then just make sure you connect it to the next one if you have the same item being sorted in. Alright, so I got two ammo boxes, combine them together. And then the next one here is all of the weapons. So again, same exact thing. Out of here into this conveyor, or I'm sorry, out of the splitter into this splitter, from the splitter into these three conveyors, from the conveyors into this combiner into the box. Right. As you can see, I got 4 here that don't actually have this up here, and that is because I didn't actually have room up there to put them. But one of them is for electric, one for tools, one for food, and one is for scrap. That's why I have it set like this right here. But technically, you could do one of these for every single item that you want, right? So that's the way that works. Now, obviously, we are going to go ahead and we need to power all this stuff, right? So I would recommend you guys use a BCN core. If you guys don't know what that is, I would recommend you look it up. I have a link to these 3 inside of the description, so if you want to check these out, I would recommend you use one of these. Essentially, I'll just give you a quick rundown how it works. Is if a rate of break to your windmills, it's going to revert the power to the output of the batteries. And if the rate of break just the battery, but not the windmill, obviously it's just going to run all the power off the windmill. But if the windmill does not have enough power, it's going to switch to your battery until the windmill actually has enough power, and then it's going to revert back to the windmill. The only way that you're going to lose all the power is A, the rate of break to your circuit, obviously, but I'd recommend you put this in a spot so raiders don't find it. Or if a rate of break to batteries and your windmills, right? And the nice thing about this is, all you have to do is just branch out the power that you need for each circuit. You don't need one windmill per every single circuit, right? So that's why I recommend you do that. But that's what this represents. These would be your windmills. These would be your, you combining them all together, alright? And then this is going to be the first output of the BCN core, which is basically like I have here, right? So coming back over here, I got the first one set to 29 power, right? So this 29 power is only if you do the electric furnaces, right? Obviously, if you have more electric furnaces, you're going to need more power, right? So the way that you figure out how much power you need for the electric furnaces, you need 2 no matter what for the conveyors. So you got 1 here and 1 here. So there's 2 power there. And then each electric furnace uses 3 power, alright? So as you can see, that's 9, 18, 27, and then 28 and 29, right? So that's where the 29 power comes from. So you go from the output of the 29 branch into the first conveyor here. And actually, to make it a little bit easier, I can show you over here. So the 29 power, like I said, comes from the branch out of the electrical branch. And then it's going to come into this first conveyor. From this first conveyor, or the input conveyor, it's going to go into the output of the output conveyor, sorry. What I meant to say is it's going to come in from this conveyor and then pass through into the output conveyor, just like this. And then the pass through of the output conveyor, it's going to go into the switch here, into the power in. And then from the out of the switch, it's going to go into these splitters here, into these furnaces here, right? And obviously, if you want more furnaces, you're going to need more splitters, right? And then we are going to do the filter pass, which is the green line. It's going to come up into the turn on of the switch, right? And then the filter fail of the input one and the output one is going to go into the AND switch here. And then it's going to come out into the turn off, right? And then obviously the way that we pipe it is pretty self-explanatory. It's going to come from the ore box, which is what this is. It's going to come into here, into the first conveyor. From the first conveyor into all of the electric furnaces, and you just daisy chain them all together. From the last one goes into the output of the conveyor. So the output conveyor. Alright, and you have to have this, otherwise it's not going to work. And then from there, you just put it into the buffer box there. So again, over here, as you can see, I have it so it comes out into here, and then from here it's going to go into all the furnaces. Output of the furnaces, it's going to come into this here, and then from here it's going to go back into the buffer boxes, just like that, right? So I'll give you guys a quick demonstration on how this works here. So let me just grab, I'll just grab 1,000 of each here. Throw it in here. As you can see, it's getting taken out. It's coming into here, as you can see, and it's getting taken out. Coming into here, as you can see, it automatically turns on, right? So that's how this works, right? So the electric furnaces are only going to be on if there's ore in the ore box, right? So they're not going to be on 24/7, all right? So that's the way that works. If you guys want to do the furnace system here, as well as the oil refinery, this is how it works. So it's a little bit different. Obviously, this is the ore box. So output of the ore box, it's going to go into the splitter. From this splitter, I have it going into another one here. And the way that this works here is, as you can see, we got the max value set here. So that's the ore. This is the sulfur. This is the high qual. And then this bottom one is the crude oil. Make sure you guys pause the video and set your values. And make sure these are set to require all, by the way. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Oops. So again, make sure all these are set to require all. So let me just go ahead and set that real quick. So require all, just like that. And then this one over here is just for wood, right? Do not set this to require all. This can be just set to any item, alright? So the way that this works, right? So these red ones are just for the large furnaces, by the way. Obviously, you're gonna have more of these than just one, but as you can see, it comes out and into there, out into this one, and then out into this one, and then this other one, same thing, comes out and it goes into this one here. This one is just for charcoal, so if you want just charcoal, that's what this one is for. And I'll show you on how we wire all this up in just a moment, though. Alright, so take all of them, all of these three, which are just the ore, as well as the one just for charcoal, and we're going to combine them together. So as you can see, that's what these are. So combine these in this one. From there, it goes into this large furnace. And then obviously, if you have more than one large furnace, you just keep going all the way around. Obviously, if they don't reach, just put a combiner in between them. And then from the output of the last one, we're going to run it into another combiner here. Alright? And the reason that we have it into a combiner is because we have it into a oil refinery here. So again, for the oil refinery, out of the splitter into this one here. Make sure you got the value set and require all. And then from there, it's going to come out into your oil refinery. From the oil refinery, it's going to come out and into this combiner here. And then from here, it's going to go into this one here. So it's just going to make sure you set this to the smelted items. It just makes it a little bit easier. That way all the stuff actually stays in there that's not smelted. So make sure you set this to metal frags, high qual, sulfur, and your low grade. And then make sure you power that. And then it's going to come back into your buffer box. Alright. So then the way that we wire all this is... okay. As you can see, I got the purple line here. So this is set to 23 power. Obviously, if you have more electric furnace, or sorry, not more electric furnaces. If you have more large furnaces, you're gonna need more power because each one of these requires, I believe, it's 2 power. Let me just double check that. Where is it? Hold on. Oh, there it is. So yeah, each one of these is 2 power, right? So I got, what I say, it was 23 power, I think I said. Yeah, so 23 power. Then if you add more igniters, it's gonna be 2 more power for each one of them. All right. So again, if I add another one of these and another igniter, it's gonna be 25 power and so on. So that's how that works. So then from the branch, again, it's gonna come into here, and then we just daisy chain it together. So pass through into the input, pass through into input, pass through into input, and then it's gonna come out of the last one here for the crude. It's gonna come up into the one for the charcoal, and then from the charcoal, hold on, let me go like this here. So from the charcoal, it's gonna come all the way over into this last one here, right? So it's gonna pull all the items out. Here, let me use this one again, and then it's gonna come out of the one that takes all the resources out, and it's gonna go into this here. So into the electrical branch, set to 1 power. And then, let me go like this real quick. Actually, I already got a blue one. Hold on. I'll make this a little bit easier. Sorry, guys. So it's going to come out of one of them, and then it's going to go into one set of the timer here. And I got this timer set to 0.25. Same thing for this one, 0.25. So take the branch out, put it into one of these, doesn't matter which one, and then the other power out into the other one, just like that. Let me put that back. And then, as you can see, I got one of these comes out, and it goes into this right here for the igniter for the oil refinery. Right? And the other one is for the actual large furnaces here. So the way that you would wire this up is we got the filter pass for all of them. So all the green ones are for the actual large furnaces, and they come in here into the ore switch. So we got 2 here and 2 here, and we just combine them up again into one, and then the power out of the ones for the large furnaces go into the toggle on, and then the power out would go into your large furnaces here, just like this. Right? So again, I'll show you guys this one more time. So we got the power in, then we just take the pass through and the input, pass through input, pass through input. From here, goes into the charcoal one. So this again, this one is just for charcoal, and then from the charcoal one, it's gonna go into the one that takes all the resources out of the system here. So out of the oil refinery and out of the large furnace. Right, and then the output of that, or the pass-through, is going to go into another electrical branch set to 1, and then take one of these into one timer and one of these into the timer here, right? So the one that is branched out to 1, right? So as you can see, it says timer 1 and timer 16, right? So the timer 1 is going to go into the one for your oil refinery, right? Because that only needs 1 power. And then the other one, which has the more power, is going to go into the one for the large furnaces, because obviously you're going to have more than just one large furnace, right? So that's how that works. And then the filter pass for all of your ore ones and the charcoal, right? As you can see, it's got the filter pass. They're all going to come into one of these, right? So into one of these ore gates, or ore switches, sorry. So one of them into here, another one here, and then you take these two, combine it into one. From there, you put it into the toggle on, and then you take the output of that into your actual igniter here. Obviously, if you got more than one electric, or I don't know why I keep saying electric furnace. If you got more than one large furnace and more than one igniter, you're gonna take this and go to a branch, and then branch out into the electric igniters. Sorry, into the igniters. All right, sorry. I don't know why I keep saying electric furnaces. My bad. So again, if you got more than one igniter, you branch out from this timer into a splitter, from the splitter into however many igniters you have. Right? So that's basically how that all works. If you guys need help with this and you don't understand it, just send me a message on Discord and I'll be gladly able to help you there. But that's basically how this entire system works, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy this. I do have another video coming out soon, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. If you guys ain't subscribed, make sure you guys click that subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, that way you guys get notified when I upload, and make sure you guys join my Discord. Alright, that way you guys get notified when I upload as well, because I post in there as well. If you guys have any questions about anything, you guys can just send me a message in Discord. I normally reply pretty fast, so again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.